Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome to the Thoughts of an Abstract Mind podcast, where we discuss various red and blue pill content, see how the people feel about it. So today, I just want to discuss this Kemi Badenoch statement that she made recently about the reparations. Basically, a lot of African countries have been asking for reparations for slavery, which I think is well within their rights. And Kemi Badenoch, a whole Nigerian descendant, who's currently if you don't know who she is, she's currently the leader of the Conservative Party in the UK. Amazing, astonishing achievement for a woman, first of all, and a woman of African descent at that to achieve, which we were all proud of initially when she came to power. Absolutely astonishing feat, until we started realizing what her ideology and her politics are really like. So recently, I believe my home country, Ghana, even has been part of this movement to get reparations for slavery. Because what you have to understand is Africa is still dealing with the issues, a lot of issues that Africa's dealing with currently still stems from those slavery and colonization days. You see what I'm saying? And for someone of African descent to come out and say, this is what she said, oh, well, basically, the UK shouldn't be made to pay, something along those lines. I can't quote her exactly, but I was just so infuriated when I read it, I even forgot. She said the UK shouldn't be made to pay reparations because they were a huge part of getting slavery abolished, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, we acknowledge that. But the UK was still a big part of the whole slave trade. In fact, the UK, to a certain extent, gained more from slavery and colonization, more than most European states. The monarchy gained a lot from slavery and colonization. You see what I'm saying? So to come out and make statements like this, and we people who were born from Africa know the difficulties that Africans face, is a bit of a slap in the face. Why do I say that? Let's take Germany and Israel, Germany and the Jewish state. Germany acknowledged the fact that they did harm to the Jews. So what did they do? As a rightful advanced society, they decided, oh, you know what? We disrupted these people in a major way. So let's do something to at least help them get back on their feet. So they've paid billions and billions and billions in reparations to the Jews. What do Africans get? Because what Jewish people endured, just to use them as an example, what Jewish people endured, as bad as it is, doesn't come close to what Africans endured in the time period African endured it for. You got America. America was literally built off the back of the slaves. Everyone knows this. Without the cotton fields and the sugar plantations, etc., etc. America was literally built off the back of the slaves. British companies gain millions and billions off the back of the slave trade and facilitating it. So as a person of African descent, to come out and say, oh, well, the UK shouldn't be made. I mean, we're still enjoying most of the products of slavery till today. The wealth, the reason why the pound is still one of the strongest currencies in the whole of the Europe is a direct link to the results of slavery. We have one of the largest deposits of gold in the whole entire world. Where do you think it came from? There's barely any gold here. You know what I mean? So I just find it very, very comical when someone of African descent, if anything, I mean, I can understand people of other races or other descent speaking, because at the end of the day, everyone's worried about their own race's survival, which I get that. But for someone of African descent to actually say that and not think, especially with the kind of voice she has and how far-reaching it goes, You know, that strikes me as very odd. That strikes me as very odd. You know, and reparations can mean a lot of things. It doesn't have to be just financial gain. It could be incentives put in place that empower Africans. It could be incentives put in place that stop the monopolization of African resources. It can be incentives put in place that improves the quality of life for Africans. Because a lot of the borders we have were drawn by Europeans. A lot of the wars that are being fought in Africa are funded by Europeans for African resources. Let's be honest about it. And furthermore, if Jewish people only went through a stint of what Africans went through, surely we deserve some kind of a reparation. To me, is not even about the financial aspect of it. It's the acknowledgement that Africans went through some really deep stuff. Do you know what I mean? Africans went through some really, really deep stuff. No other race on planet Earth endured it. I mean, the slavery has always been around, you know, but no other race on planet Earth endured it at scale like Africans did. And we're still facing the effects of it, the echoes of it till today. So, Kemi, as a fellow Nigerian, and I'm half Nigerian too, my dad's Yoruba, we're very disappointed. We expect more from you. And we're still proud of you for what you've achieved. But things like this, I don't know if you're trying to fit in with the crowd and you feel like, you know, the people that don't look like you will cheer you up more, will cheer you on more. This is not it. This is not it. The truth is only one. The truth is always one. Let's not try to sugarcoat it, and let's not try to run around it. Even Europeans know they took the piss out of Africa. Even Europeans know. So, yes, we acknowledge that the UK played a big role in ending slavery and abolishing slavery, but they still gained a lot. In my opinion, they gained the most. You know? Because remember, before slavery was abolished and the Americans fought for their independence, who was running the America as a colony itself? Good old Britons. So who was gaining from all those plantations there? Good old Brits. So please, let's really understand the full circle of history. Not just one side of it, the full circle of history. You know, before we come out with our powerful voices and we say these things. And everyone's entitled to their opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for tuning in.